I'm doing is I'm looking backwards. How could a judge grant the ability to search these two homes, and why would you do it simultaneously? Probable cause means having the belief, or at least having the quantity of information, that a crime either did happen, is happening, or is going to happen. That's how law enforcement must prove to a judge or a court why they have the opportunity or the legal ability to search someone's home. Now, why would you do it in conjunction from one property and another at the same time? Law enforcement typically does this because they are worried that information, property, or evidence may be hidden away or destroyed while you're searching one property. So they're looking for something to corroborate the belief that they have that a crime did occur. As you pointed out earlier, he's facing multiple allegations of sex trafficking, so perhaps that is a crime in which they're investigating. Perhaps that is what they're trying to seek more information from. But in order to search a home, you have to have probable cause. The only question is, probable cause of what? As you look at this and you watch this, shout if we see any more movement on these screens. But it is important to note, right, that this is all being run out of the Warren District of New York here. So there is a tremendous amount of coordination happening. Another layer to this story came when a video clip of Khloe Kardashian started making the rounds again. In it, she talks about one of Diddy's parties that she attended, calling the experience shocking, focusing on the fact that the Department of Justice alleged that he was already engaged in obstructing justice prior to the indictment being issued. I think that's a really key allegation that would allow them to make the arguments, which they did and which the judge ultimately agreed with, that Mr. Combs cannot be out of prison because he will have the chance to not only run away but also have the chance to influence the outcome of this trial by pressuring individuals to not come forward. This is a devastating blow for his defense team because it's so much more difficult, as a defense attorney, to work with your client and to build your case.
Multiple Grammy nominees this year. Lauryn Hill's got 4, TLC's got 8, and Sean Combs 5 to 10. And he can really sing. Oops! Oh.
Rosie O'Donnell's joke about Diddy nearly 25 years ago hitting a little different in 2024.
You're gonna hear about my party, they're gonna be shutting them down, they're gonna probably be arresting me.
Yeah, the viral resurfaced moments just keep coming in the wake of Diddy's racketeering and sex trafficking indictments.
It's ridiculous. It seems like there's something new every day. You know, as I said before, I'm innocent.
That's the rapper and then girlfriend Jennifer Lopez at the 2000 Grammy Awards. Diddy reacting at the time to his arrest stemming from his infamous nightclub shooting.
Want to hear my joke I have? Ready? This is good. See if you like it.
Before Diddy was cleared of those charges, the comedian quipped about his legal troubles with TLC on her 90s talk show.
A lot of multiple Grammy nominees this year. Lauryn Hill's got 4, TLC's got 8, and Sean Combs 5 to 10. Get it? Like he's going to jail?
Right.
All right.
As for Diddy's ex, J-Lo, fans also dug up her 2015 appearance on The Wendy Williams Show. Her mom, Guadalupe, reacting to a rekindled romance.
I could always see you getting back with Puffy in a little way.
I mean, he's a nice guy and he can really sing. Oops! Oh.
But Usher quickly came forward to say that his account was hacked, and that's why those posts went missing.
April 2nd.
April 2nd.
Is the night. And look, I was saying earlier, it's hard to believe it's been 20 years since Lean Back came out. You know, it's been almost, I guess, 23, 24 years since What's Love, you know, came out, you and Ashanti. So, like, Remy's going to be there. Is Ashanti going to be there?
There's a possibility.
Okay, so far
you guys are on a roll.
Well, this is what I want to know, though, because I'm trying to think.
I got gambling with you guys.
You got to put the Terror Squad back together. And I know you lost, you know, Big Pun and your boy Raul. You've lost some members, but you got to put back together. I don't know if it's for one night only or for a tour. For all us old people who need one more night to go out and see you guys.
Well, you're going to see us all on stage on the 2nd. You know what I mean? Tone Sunshine, Remy Ma. I'm trying to get.
So there will be a reunion that night.
Well, we a tight family. We're one of the most loyal, tightest families in hip hop. So we together. Like we all the way with this, you know.
So are the tickets still available for
I
April
think
2nd?
so, but I mean, I think it's mostly sold out. And even if you could get an upper deck seat, I'm telling you, forget about the money. This don't even have nothing to do with the price of a ticket. This is somewhere you need to be. If you love hip hop music, you're a New Yorker, You want to dance in the aisles? We're going to tell Apollo, yo, don't be so strict. Let them dance. Let them have fun, because it's going to be an amazing night.
So, Joe, meanwhile, you got a lot
Why
of stuff.
fight the time when you can rewind the time?
Yeah, what's going on? What'd you bring us?
I mean, this is men's grooming. You take care. You and your sister always. Why us guys? When your wife says she wants you to go great, she's fixing you up. Okay? She don't want you out there looking your very best. So we say, why fight the time when you can rewind the time? Why look 53 when you can look 40? Why look 43 when you can look 30? And so this is ammonia free, so this doesn't break nobody out. This is very healthy.
So talk about it. I mean, like, this is specifically for beards.
But beards and hair.
Right. So I mean, you're not just going and doing hair dye and trying to put on your.
We got.
Yeah.
No. This brings you back.
Like, I'm saying other people, like, normally you have to go to the store, you get hair dye and try to put it on your beard. This is made specifically to go on your beard.
Yeah. Oh no, this is Italian. This is Italian hair color, brother. This is the best thing. We call this the Rolls Royce of hair grooming, and it's available at Sally's and Amazon.com. But mostly, it gives you that glow back. You know, you feel. I got a friend. His hair was all the way white. He never dyed it. Never thought of it. So I used him like a guinea pig. I said, "Yo, sit down." Man, that man walked out that place 10 minutes later. He called me like, "I'll never be white again." Oh my God, the compliments I'm getting. This is amazing. Like, you know, that's what this is about.
I love it. You know who may need this?
Who?
Diddy. His hair may go white.
Yeah.
I know that you guys are somewhat friendly.
No. I didn't say no. Yeah. I know Diddy 30 years. I'm just praying. It's a very sad situation. I don't know enough about it. That's as far as I could go. I stood up last night, maybe 4 hours, praying for him and his kids. His kids, I know them all their life. So, I'm just praying for everybody.
Have you had a chance to talk to him at all since this has been?
Nah, very sad occasion. No.
What about
I know what you guys know.
Yeah. What about our girl Wendy Williams? Because I know you were tight with Wendy
sad. She used to always tell me,
And to go over the information because you have limited access. You mentioned the detention center that he's in. It's not easy to go there on a daily basis to do work and to build your case and to go through the details that you would need to go through. It would be much more simple and straightforward if the defense team was able to meet with their client on a regular basis. Now it's monitored, now it's closely guarded, and access is much more difficult. So I believe that's why his defense attorneys fought so hard and offered everything under the sun in order to get him out, because it really impinges their ability to represent him to the best of their abilities. It's difficult to represent a client who is behind bars, so they have an uphill battle there. Of course, they are fighting an uphill battle in the court of public opinion, because there has been non-stop discussion and onslaught of publicity and conversation around the salacious allegations. As you mentioned, these freak-offs, as they call them, will just use that term once the parties that Diddy threw in all the celebrities he's known for over the course of his career. The prosecutors are saying this sort of commenced in 2009, so it's been a really long time. A lot of people are involved in this. Khloe Kardashian describes how half the guests were barely clothed and how the whole scene was pretty wild. This just added more fuel to the rumors swirling around Diddy's parties and what might have happened at them. Justin Bieber, who was once mentored by Diddy, is another name that's been linked to this situation, although it seems like he's doing his best to stay out of it himself by volunteering information. So Mr. Combs is in a very difficult position to defend civil lawsuits while Bowser is an ongoing criminal case on top of that, because any statement he were to make in those civil cases could be used as against him in the criminal case. So it's a very interesting confluence of the civil cases and the criminal case that are ongoing. I expect it's likely that more individuals may come forward. The Department of Justice has urged more individuals to come forward and tell their side of the story. Something about sexual assault cases is that it can be very difficult for victims to come to terms with what occurred to them in the first place, let alone to come out publicly and face the person who has allegedly done things to them that victimize them. So it's a very difficult area for prosecutors to go through and get victims to willingly come forward. But the way these civil lawsuits are playing out, it appears that may be a strategy they employ, reaching out to the attorney that's representing an individual victim and seeing if they'd be willing to come in and sit down and talk to them about the case. Yeah, and as you said, defending both civil lawsuits and a criminal case is quite a challenge. In fact, as we know, Diddy settled the case with Cassie Venture within 24 hours of her filing that complaint. So he tried to keep that under wraps and tried not to have to make statements regarding it. Except he did apologize for his behavior. That was before then sort of a landslide of civil lawsuits against him then appeared. To your point about getting women to come forward, getting witnesses to testify, getting people that maybe even turn state's evidence. So to speak, they have denied bail of any sort to Diddy. He offered to put up $50 million. He said that he would either sell or get rid of his jet. They would monitor him, drug test him, and get rid of all electronics, all sorts of things to try to keep him out of the Metropolitan Detention Center in Brooklyn, which is a notorious facility, among others, in New York. The judge said, "No, you are going to stay behind bars because of the potential for what they described as witness tampering and obstruction of justice." What do you think?
Again, in it, she talks about one of P. Diddy's parties that she attended, calling the experience shocking.
Focusing on the fact that the Department of Justice alleged that he was already engaged in obstructing justice prior to the indictment being issued, I think that's a really, really key allegation that would allow them to make the arguments, which they did and which the judge ultimately agreed with, is that Mr. Combs cannot be out of prison because he will have the chance to not only run away, but he will also have the chance to influence the outcome of this trial by pressuring individuals to not come forward. And this is a devastating blow for his defense team because it's so much more difficult as a defense attorney to work with your client and to build your case and to go over the information because you have limited access. You mentioned the detention center that he's in. It's not easy to go there on a daily basis and to do work and to build your case and to go through the details that you would need to go through. And it would be much more simple and straightforward if the defense team was able to meet with their client on a regular basis. Now it's monitored, now it's closely guarded, and access is much more difficult.
About the judge's decision. How common is it for a potential, let's call him a non-violent offender, to be denied bail under these circumstances? The Department of Justice, in filing their indictment, made an allegation that I think was very key to allowing the judge to come to this decision, which is that, as part of running this alleged criminal enterprise, Mr. Combs was already involved in obstructing justice to not let this information get out ahead of time. So based on that allegation, the idea behind denying bail is obviously, number one, is a flight risk. He has tons of resources. And we know that when his house was initially raided, I believe that Mr. Combs fled the country or took a flight elsewhere. So he's shown maybe a pattern or a proclivity to be able to do something like that. He has access to funds. On top of it, he's facing very serious charges that could see him spending the rest of his life in prison, so he'd be incentivized to do something where he would flee or run away from it. I think the judge was on firm ground in making a decision in this case. Someone of Mr. Combs' profile, especially with the type of conduct that's being alleged here, has been keeping a low profile, focusing on his personal life and his role as a father. For now, Bieber seems uninterested in engaging with the drama, at least publicly. This is what you need to do. Women need locks on the doors. Okay, this is sounding kind of dangerous now. It's a little kinky. But superstar rap mogul Sean Diddy Combs publicly joked about locking women in his house at parties he hosted, according to resurfaced interviews from 2002. In an interview on Late Night with Conan O'Brien, back in 2002, Diddy, then well known for his partying, was asked for his best hosting tips. The rapper recently pleaded not guilty to charges of racketeering and sex trafficking and was ordered to remain in custody while awaiting trial. Combs, 54, was arrested by federal agents in New York following a criminal indictment. The indictment accuses him of sexually abusing women and coercing them into drug-fueled sex parties through threats and violence. Diddy Combs is in relatively good spirits, despite his high profile.
Man, I was like 480 pounds at one time, like when Big Pun was alive. Yeah, so this was like years and years and years of understanding my body and what I can eat and what I can't.
So what are you doing differently?
You know, I just lay off the carbs. I eat defensively. I eat what I want to eat, but I eat defensively. Yeah. So you know how you wake up every morning, hopefully everyone goes and brush their teeth first thing in the morning? Yeah, that's what we teach our kids. Right. So that's the first thing I do. I don't care if I'm like this. Well, every time I eat, sit down and eat, I'm eating defensively. I'm like staying away from the bread, staying away from the rice, staying away from the pasta, staying away from, you know, I went to your restaurant and got a little fish with some broccoli.
I know, you can have
that's
that.
That's how I play the game.
I like that.
Maybe some burrata first, but I stay away. It's the carbs that really get you.
Yeah. Well, it's working for you.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's working.
Thank you.
So, lean back. Congratulations.
Wow.
20 years. So, Apollo, April 2nd, big night for you.
You know, I started at the Apollo Theater. I won amateur night 4 weeks in a row. So the Apollo really is my home. Harlem and the Bronx with one. And so I'm calling it a billion worth of stars on one stage in one night.
Because there's gonna be a lot of guests with you.
Too many. And so what's going on is I'm a native New Yorker, and I'm trying to put a top 5 moment in the history of New York City. I'm not talking about just hip hop. I'm talking about when Muhammad Ali fought at Madison Square Garden. This is something where you go and you're gonna be like, oh my God, I cannot believe.
Wait, who's there? Let's talk about.
We got Dipset, we got the Lox, we got Remy.
Mary J, your sister.
I didn't say that. I did not say that. But a lot of people. I told you it's gonna be $1 billion worth of stars in one.
Fetty.
Rumors, big rumors,
but
big rumors.
Drake, wait, is Drake gonna be there?
I thought you would say that. No, Drake is definitely not gonna be there.
Okay, so he said no.
But you've been like,
but he didn't say
on a roll.
I was gonna say he didn't say no to other people.
She was on a roll.
All right.
And it's just gonna be one big party, one big celebration of life. You know, it's just gonna be a party at the Apollo. You know what I mean? It's gonna be.